Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Ringside Cinema. I am Money Mike, and we are only 2 months into WWE 2K26's life cycle, and already we are talking about the 2K27 roster. Mainly because of TKO making a bunch of releases, and some surprising releases like the New Day. But I did want to talk about that because, well, maybe you might want to stick with 2K26 instead of getting 2K27 if one of your favorite superstars you like to play with got released. So, a little bit different approach to this video. I'm going to have the list of released superstars here, like in the big screen, and then I'm just going to minimize my screen. So as a way to narrate this so you can see the list while I'm talking about it. So let me know in comments if you want me to try this approach to other videos in the future, as I am trying to grow the channel. So if you can, please hit that like and subscribe button. And just maybe I'll add some gaming content with WWE 2K26 and maybe Madden or whatever else in the future. So let me know in the comments below and hit that like and subscribe button today. Alright, obviously, I talked about the releases before. I'll leave a link to the video to that up here. But yeah, when we talk about the video game and these releases that happen, and obviously, this means that WWE no longer has the rights to these superstars, thus they are removed from the game. And of course, obviously, legends come and go based upon their Legends deal, and we'll talk about Mick Foley here in a second. But yeah, let's go over this list here. Obviously, the New Day stand out by far, because obviously Xavier Woods has had such a big role with the 2K video game. And I mean, like, I don't get how, like with GM mode, him, Tyler Breeze, like all the promotional work he would do for the game. I don't know how we could release him. And I mean, think about this. Obviously, AEW Fight Forever, it wasn't a good first game for AEW. But, if at the end of the 90 days, the New Day go to AEW and we finally get that dream match with the New Day and the Young Bucks, or Xavier versus Kenny, Kofi versus Kenny Omega, whatever. Xavier's background with the video game, I think, to me, with the video game knowledge, that's huge for AEW, for the future of AEW video games, to have someone like an Xavier Woods. So, I mean, that's huge if they want to release in the future an AEW Fight Forever 2 or whatever they're going to call the next game. Obviously, Kofi Kingston, you would think, oh, he's a WWE lifer. He's going to be in the games until whenever, because you would think once he retired, he would get a Legends deal. But now we're talking about a world where now we don't have Kofi Kingston to play as in 2K27 alongside with Xavier Woods. Obviously, again, another fan favorite here, Aleister Black, Zelina Vega. Aleister Black is really, really a weird situation because we just got him back in the game. They actually added him as part of the WrestleMania pack last year, and I know a lot of fans were excited about that because one, his entrance music, two, you get the entrance, and obviously, okay, cool, we have create a wrestler and a wonderful modern community that makes these wonderful mods of released superstars for us to continue to play as. But obviously, it doesn't compare to the real thing where where they are licensed to be in the game with WWE when you have the official entrance music and everything else. Like because the 2K music library we have to choose from is like very poor. It needs to be updated. Um, Obviously losing the Motor City Machine Gun. So if you're a tag team guy and you love doing tag team matches with your friends in WWE 2K, losing the New Day, losing the Motor City Machine Guns. We talk about the Tommaso Ciampa. Obviously, that's a little bit different. I did put him on this list, but I think it was just more so his contract ran out. But I also just want to talk about him in this video. Obviously, that's DIY. We lose another tag team in this game. Tonga Loa. You talk about the entire Wyatt family, the Wyatt Sicks, and obviously Bray Wyatt, the Wyatt family as a whole, are beloved by fans. And obviously the fans always loved Bray Wyatt, his creativity, and everything he brought to the table with his gimmicks, whether it was the original Wyatt family or the Fiend or the new reincarnation of the Fiend that we did kind of get to see around WrestleMania 37. But like obviously losing the Wyatt family, I would have to assume Bray Wyatt still has a Legends deal in place. I'm not too sure. I mean, I would hope we do get to keep Bray Wyatt in the games in the future, but obviously that is kind of out of WWE's control when it comes to who signs Legends deals. And two, if you are a big Wyatt family fan, obviously a lot of fans want to see the return of Luke Harper in the WWE 2K series, and obviously losing Eric Rowan here when you can't recreate the tag team of Luke Harper and Eric Rowan, that sucks. We know how close Amanda Huber is with Cody Rhodes, Big E, and a lot of the other WWE roster members. In fact, when you go back to WrestleMania 40, when Cody's in the ring celebrating, Amanda Huber and Negative One, Brody Lee Jr., is in the ring during Cody's big celebration. So it is kind of surprising that we have not gotten Luke Harper in the game as like officially in the game as a legend, but hopefully that does happen one day. But again, if you wanted to recreate the Wyatt family, you're out of luck because that would suck. We do finally get Luke Harper in 2K27, but we lose like a lot of the Wyatt family. So let's go back again. We look at JC Mateo. You have Tangaloa again. If you're a tag team player, and we're losing all these tag teams. Santos Escobar in there, which is weird. They re-signed him last year, and then they let him go this year. That same thing with Aleister Black. Road Dogg again. Obviously, I think that's a little bit different because he was in creative, but he left. He decided to leave on his own. But again, we just got Billy Gunn back in the game, and we just lost one half of the New Age Outlaws after we finally got all of DX in a video game, or in the past couple of video games. Um, let's see, who am I missing? Obviously, Kairi Sane again is a big one. I expect for 2K27 that she's going to be a huge creator wrestler down like one of the most downloaded creator wrestlers there is for 2K27. I do hope that maybe at some point along the way in 2K like this year, maybe WWE TKO changes their mind, maybe brings back some of these guys so we don't lose them in the game next year. Who else am I missing so I can cover everybody here? Uh, yeah, obviously at this point, big name wise, who we're losing, I mean, the only one left is Mick Foley. And that's a huge gaping hole in the franchise, I believe. Because, for Mick Foley, his career expands between ECW, WCW, and WWE. And you talk about a showcase mode. And I know fans are indifferent on showcase mode. Some don't like it, some do. But for Mick Foley, if you want a showcase mode with a variety of matches, variety of wrestlers, a Mick Foley showcase where we're getting all the faces of Foley, Mankind, Dude Love, Cactus Jack. Because mind you, that's 3 characters we're losing here. I say Mick Foley, but again, we're losing 3 wrestlers here because again, every one of them takes up 1 slot. So yeah, we're losing 3 wrestlers in one here with 1 release. And obviously, I'm not going to get into the political side of things of why Mick Foley is leaving is not renewing his Legends deal next month. So this will be the last game that we do see Mick Foley, Mankind, Cactus Jack, Dude Love in a 2K video game, barring some kind of deal, maybe specifically with 2K that Mick Foley, he may have political differences with the WWE, but maybe for the fans, he signs a separate deal with 2K to keep his likeness in the game. And again, a Mick Foley showcase, I think would have been so amazing to do. And especially this year when they're highlighting the Attitude Era, like you can't talk about the Attitude Era without talking about Mick Foley, Mankind, Dude Love, Cactus Jack. You can't. Like it's crazy we lose Mick Foley, that we're going to be losing Mick Foley from the game and all his characters in a year in which 2K decided to spotlight the Attitude Era. So that sucks because there's so much you can choose from a Mick Foley showcase, and that is one that I would have loved to have seen done for 2K, and maybe one day that will happen again, and we can get a Mankind Mick Foley showcase, whatever. But yeah, I mean, who else is going to get released this year where this game is going to be taking on more of a hit, right? Because this is like 30 plus superstars that we're losing here. So does 2K have enough from we talk about the NXT talent that didn't make the game. We talk about Evolve, AAA, potential new legends. Do we have enough that we could essentially make up for who we're losing in the game, right? So, that's gonna be interesting to see because I think that is one of the things that we do look forward to is when the WWE does sign new stars, is that oh hey we get them in the video game, and we look at Evil, who just signed from New Japan. We look at someone like a Matt Cardona, Royce Keys. Obviously, they're in the season pass this year, but when these new talent come in, we're like, oh hey, we're gonna get them in the game, and it gets us excited as fans, and we get to play as those superstars again. So I know for me, I'm waiting for the season 4 because that has the Hardys in it. So I'm looking forward to that. But again, it's just crazy. 30 plus superstars already cut away from the roster in 2K27. Let me know in the comments below, which superstars are you going to miss the most from from in 2K from 2K27, and who do you want to see in 2K27 who did not make the game in 2K26? Let me know in the comments below. And as always, I've been your host, Money Mike. And again, let me know your thoughts if you want me to do more videos like this, where I have what I'm talking about on the screen and me kind of minimize. So, as always, I've been your host, Money Mike, and you've been watching Ringside Cinema.